What's up everybody, it's Mr. Brett from DiSilvestro Playground. Today we're going to be baking up some apple cinnamon slab pie. It's a great recipe to do with your kids. First time I'm ever baking something, so we're going to learn something new together. Let's get started by going through our ingredients. You are going to need 2 Granny Smith apples. I got 3 just to be safe. I only ended up using 2. A crescent dough sheet, some sugar, cinnamon, flour, just a little bit of flour, brown sugar, and 4 tablespoons of butter. Now we're gonna pause real quick. Forgot to show, you are going to need 1 egg. Let's get to it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your 4 tablespoons of butter in a pan and let that start melting. And while that's going to melt down into some buttery goodness, we're going to start with our apples. Now I cut my apples up to about 8 slices per apple. Make sure you core them, and you can also peel them if you want to peel them. I do have a peeler, but I'm going to assume not everybody has a peeler. That's why my apples aren't peeled. And once they're all cut up and cored, you're just going to dump them right into your pan with the butter. And you're going to let them cook for about 8 minutes, stirring them, moving them around occasionally. While that's doing that, you can prep your egg. All we need is to beat 1 egg. Pretty simple. So once that's all whipped up, you're just going to put that to the side. We're going to use that for one of the last steps of the recipe. Make sure you wash your hands after you beat your egg. Okay, now we're going to start adding our ingredients. You're going to want to put your pan down to low heat, and we're going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now this is really hard to mix up and making sure that your spices are getting on every slice, so do take the time to really mix all of your apple slices up so every single slice has every single spice. And we're going to let that continue to cook on low heat for about 8 more minutes while we get our baking sheet ready. So I just have one of these Pillsbury puff pastry sheet things. Just gonna put some flour on some parchment paper, roll it out so it's nice and flat. And then you're gonna take your pizza cutter or just a knife and attempt to make a straight line down the middle of your puff pastry sheet. And then you're just gonna start lining your apples up, one by one. And then at the end, if you would like to, you can put all that extra butter, brown sugar, cinnamon sauce on it. Make sure it's cut really well, and then just flip that other side right onto the top, and then just start pushing the corners together and the sides. This is my first time baking anything, so it's not going to look pretty, but that doesn't matter as long as it tastes good. Okay, we're going to bring back our egg from earlier, and we're just going to take our little egg wash and we're going to liberally put it on to the top of our apple cinnamon slab pie. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to want to cut these vent holes into the top of your slab pie. This was pretty annoying. They seemed to close right away, so I made them a little bit bigger. But in the end, got it done. Alright, and then the last step is we're just going to sprinkle some granulated sugar on top of it. Regular old sugar. And then we're going to pop it onto a baking sheet. Put it into the oven for 15 to 17 minutes or until golden brown at 400 degrees. And Bang. Doesn't look pretty, but for a first try, I think it looks pretty good. We're gonna plate this up. Now you could put some ice cream on the side. You could have this with breakfast if you wanted to. Nice breakfast dessert. See how it tastes. Fantastic. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Row House Cooking from DiSilvestro TV, a Philadelphia Parks and Recreation broadcast. If you have any recommendations for future videos, please leave them in the comments. Stay safe, everyone.